Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about Java array. In previous videos we discussed about Java variables, conditions and loops. So first of all we have to find out what is variable and also why we need to have a variable. Yes, that we learned in previous video. But today, why we need to have Java array? Now let's look at this one. I have a simple Java program and I simply create a variable and then after that I'm assigning a value into the variable and I just write system.out.println student name. So when I'm starting my compilation, it will start from the main method and it will complete the bytecode. In the execution time, it will start line by line and once you comes to the variable declaration, it will create a variable. And then in your memory space, we create a memory slot for this variable. And then when we initialize the variable, that memory slot will get the value. That means the assigned value. Now here student name equal Priyanga Srivardhana and memory slot will be assigned Priyanga Srivardhana. And system.out.println student name. So what is student name? So we are accessing the value in the memory location and it will produce the output as Priyanga Srivardhana. Now that is simple one variable and store one value. But when we are doing a real-time application, you need more and more student information. Now for example, your classroom, how many students are there? 10, 20, 30, 100, 500, something like that. Now you want to store student names in a temporary manner. Can you use variables? If it is a 10 students, yes you can. But is 100? It is really difficult. It will be 500. No, obviously it's not practical. But look at this. Now, same as my previous example, I'm creating a small Java class and main method. And then one by one, I'm creating a variables. String student name 1, string student name 2, string student name 3, and finally I'm creating a 20th variable. So what happened? In your main method, you have a 20 lines. So your program complexity is high. Because of the complexity is high, obviously your program execution performance will be really poor. And also, it's a program really poor readability. Therefore, developers execute a new concept called array. Now, what is array? In simple term, same as variable, array is a continuous memory location. Not a one single memory location, it's a continuous memory location. And remember, that is single data type. That is single data type. Now let's see how we are going to create the Java array. Now first, you should have a data type. You have to select what is the data type you need. If it is a string, double, char, float, whatever. And then appropriate array name. And then after that, you can use new instance and then data type. And then after that, within a bracket, you have to use array size. That is an integer value. Fine. Now look at this. String, student name. new string 5. String is a data type. Student name is array name. And then you have to create array size. I use 5 here, integer. And then once I execute this, you will get the array. And look at this. You have 5 slots. In the memory, it will be continuously that 5 slots are there. And also, it starts from the 0 and end with 4. And remember, every slot you have an index number. Every slot in the array you have an index number. Now look at this. Here I have a student name array that is actually string type. This is start index. This is end index. And array length is 5. So it is start with 0, end is 4. That means the last index means array length minus 1. Now let's see how to add values into the array. First, you should have array name. And then you should have value. But make sure that value is compatible for array data type. And then you have to provide the index value. What do you mean by index? Let's see next time. Here, this is my array. And then once I execute, I will get the array. Now look at this. You have a continuous 5 memory slots and start with 0, end with 4. Now here, I'm adding a value. What is the index? Index is 0. In 0, I'm going to add AAA. See, you can see 0th index, it's at AAA. And then index number 1, it's BBB. And then look at this. I'm not adding index number 2. I'm adding index number 3. So it will add XXXX. Fine. And then look at this. Student name index number 5. Index number 5 is not in this array. You can see index number 4 is the maximum. Now that will become an error. That will become an error. Now I want to access values in the array. I want to access values in the array. Now look at this. How we can access here. This is simply create a variable with appropriate data type, variable name, and then make sure you have to provide which index you want to access. Now this is my array. What is my array name? Student name. And I have index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Look at this. String name 1, student name 0. 0 is index number. Yes, it will access the 0th index and then it will get the value. So that is AAA. Let's see another one. I have another one, string name 1 and then student name index number 4. Yes, it will access index number 4 and get the value and then it will be PPP. Now look at this. I have string name 1 and then student name. Yes, and I am getting the value. Is there a value? Yes, the value is null. And then look at this. I have this one. Last one. String name 1, student name 5. If there is a 5, no. You will get nothing, you will get, it will be error. Now, I'm going to write a Java program. So, how are we going to write it? First, create a class with main method. Create a string variable length is 5. Add values into array, single statement, and print the array values using for loop. Okay. What do you mean by for loop? If you don't know what is for loop, just refer my previous video. And then this is my class. I create my class and here I have a main method. And then now here I'm creating a array, string array. So one statement, I create this string array and add 5 values. Look at this, string name, within a bracket I add 5 values. Now using for loop, yes, starting with 0. Why? Because array index is starting with 0, and then after that you have a should be less than 5, because my maximum value is 4 and a plus plus I'm adding 1 by 1 because index value is increased by 1 by 1. And then I have system.out.println and then a is an index because for loop is having a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Now there's a problem. Here, sometime you don't know what is the array size. How you going to get the array size? That's we have a method. That's simple. Array name dot length. Here, the array name is name. So I can get the array length using name dot length. And then you will get the output as Nimal, Kamal, Anil, Suman, and finally Arjun. Now you have a small work. Create a class with main method. Create an int array. Length is 10. Add value into the array. Same as previous. Single statement. Now find the largest value in the array. Now you know how to create class and main method. We discussed in the first video. And you know how to create an integer array? Yes, in this lesson you will discuss how to add value. Yes, in this lesson we discuss. And also how you going to access value one by one in the array. Yes, that we already discussed. And how to use for loop and if condition. If you don't know how to do that, just refer my second video. It will clearly explain. And please type your coding, and if you have any doubt, please email me. Now activity 2. Create a class with main method. Create an integer array and length should be 10, and same as previous, add 10 values into the array. It should be single statement, and then find the total of array values. Now what you have to do, you know how to create a class with a main method, how to create an array and initialize the 10 values. Yes, fine. Now finally use for loop and access array values one by one and make sure while you accessing, yes, you have to take sum of every value in the array. Fine. Now do the program and get out the output. If you have any doubts, please email me. And also don't forget, still you are not subscribed my video channel, please subscribe now and make sure you click the bell icon as well. Thank you. See you soon.